and I see this girl biting herself.
Oh, how lovely that would be.
I'm kidding. Okay, so this is actually an ER story. Yes, I'm telling an ER story. It's not even why I went to the ER as much as it is like the situation that arose from it, and just like how unnecessarily panicked I got about it, and I guess just the entire situation that arose and how it happened. So for whatever reason, these Hollywood guys decided, for whatever reason, I don't know, to film the next Bruce Willis movie in the middle of Lynn, Massachusetts, the city that I grew up in. I was kind of surprised at that just because of how many different glamorous and pretty cities and different places in this country that they could film it alone, but gave us an opportunity to go see how the Hollywood scene works. So my dad and I, it's right down the street, downtown Lynn. We drive down. We park there. We already see all these like different places. We see these like different tech guys, people filming on rooftops. Supposedly Bruce Willis wasn't actually there that day, stuntman or something. Supposedly Bruce Willis doesn't like wires. So we park in the car. We get out. We go outside. Bolt across the street because at the yellow light the cars floor it. People in the cars floor it because they want to beat the yellow lights. Massachusetts. So we run across the street. We get there fine. We start talking to people, asking what's going on, what the situation is, who's filming where, yada yada yada. So then all of a sudden I find out that my heart is suddenly beating really really fast. I'm like, that's kind of weird. I run across the street all the time. I bike ride. I exercise. Why is my heart suddenly skyrocketing? Why is my pulse suddenly skyrocketing? So I'm trying to. I ask my dad, hey, my heart's beating kind of fast. What's going on? And he just says it's probably nothing. So he tries to calm me down. So I'm like, all right. So we try to walk down the sidewalk. We're looking at all this like crazy destruction because it was for the movie Surrogates. You guys have seen it. I watched it the other day. I was trying to figure out where they filmed it. I had a rough idea, but I couldn't really tell. But there was a lot of destruction. It looked like they worked really, really hard to like make the entire place look as destroyed as possible. So I keep walking down the street, and my pulse doesn't go down. And I'm like, Dad, my pulse isn't going down. What's going on? And he keeps saying it's probably fine. Just let's slow it down. Let's walk a little bit slower. So we slow down. Still doesn't change. So I'm standing there, and I'm like, okay, my heart's still going really fast. And he says, okay, just try to calm down, take a couple deep breaths. Being a relatively calm person, I do my best to just like almost meditate and concentrate on myself being as calm as I can be. Still doesn't change. So then my dad casually asks me, so you want to go to the emergency room? You would have to had to have been there for the just to hear the casual tone in his voice. It almost sounded more casual than it did when he was like asking if I wanted something at the grocery store. It was really strange. It's like, want to go to the emergency room? It's weird. So I said, okay. So we walk back to the car in the emergency room. Obviously, on the way to the emergency room, which is also in Lynn. And I'm panicking to myself at this point. I'm just like, oh my God, what's going on? Am I gonna die? What's happening to me? Oh my God, oh my God. And of course, my dad, being the most level-headed person in the world, is asking me, okay, do you feel any numbness? Do you feel any this? Do you feel any that? Do you have any pain in your chest? And honestly, I felt fine. Aside the fact that my heart was going at over 200 beats per minute, and the fact that my chest was kind of tight from being like all panicked and stuff, I was fine. So even still, I was still panicking. Oh my God, what's going on? What's going on? Oh my God, am I gonna die? Is this a bad omen or something like that? And then my dad just says, would you please cut it out and stop being a baby? Because I was giving him all the right answers, and he wasn't worried a bit, even though I was still crazy worried. So eventually we get to the ER. My dad goes to the front desk, tells the lady, okay, my kid's got a heart condition, heart something or other, help him out. So within 2 minutes, which is really cool, I go into the next room and I get my blood pressure taken. I hate having my blood pressure taken, just to let you know. I guess I'm kind of squeamish about like feeling things that I'm not supposed to feel. So feeling like my pulse, like throbbing in my arm, let alone the fact that it was at over 200 beats a minute, was just like, okay. So after they do that, I get asked to take my shirt off. Next thing I know, I'm covered in a dozen different sticky things, and then the nurse tells me, yeah, your heart's beating really fast. Okay. walks away. The nurse says, "Follow me." So I go up onto the bed. I get an IV stuck in me, which is also just as unpleasant as I told them. And then the nurses are made painfully aware of how panicked they are, and they're probably just thinking to themselves, "Oh my God, he's not losing a leg. Would you please just give it a rest?" So then the doctor comes in. He says, "Hi, I'm Dr. So-and-so." I forget his name. And he slams his hand on my vein thing to try to slow my pulse down. That doesn't work. He tells me to like clench really hard as if I'm about to poop. Kind of weird. But it supposedly constricts the blood vessels and slows the pulse down. That doesn't work either. So they give me this dose of adenosine. So you know that feeling when you get really, really nervous at something, like all of a sudden, and you get this sinking feeling in your chest, like when you're about to give a speech to a class? Imagine that, but everywhere, minus the nervousness. It's very, very strange. And it does kick in immediately. I'm just like, I don't feel any different. Whoa, what's going? That's really weird. So that eventually slows my pulse down to like 100, which is fine considering the circumstances. And being the dork that I am, I ask what exactly happened to me. So it turned out I had what's called supraventricular tachycardia. Everybody? Just kidding. SVT for short. It's the non-deadly version of ventricular tachycardia, which is the thing that causes sudden death. But this is just caused by stress, and since I'm not really a stressed person very often, and since it's sort of rare to begin with, it's probably not going to happen to me again. But I guess if there's anything I could have taken away from this experience was that, and I'm discovering this very often now, is that if you relax in a situation, instead of violently trying to fight against what's going on and just go with the flow even if it's something that isn't ideal, you'll be able to see exactly where the opening is for you to change the situation if you want to.
Good job. You feeling okay today?